Hi everyone, I'm Chef Nicholas Lodge, creator of Flower Pro in collaboration with Katy Designs. And I'm super excited to be here on this live on this Tuesday to introduce a brand new Flower Pro product and also a brand new Katy product that I was actually involved with developing and doing the video for, and the brochure or the leaflet that comes with the product. So two exciting new things to launch today, and as I said, I'm happy all of you could join me. And so first thing I'd like to talk about is going to be my brand new Flower Pro Blossoms. Now this is the Blossoms mold, and you can see here the Blossoms mold is actually created to make spring blossoms, but also it is created to make other types of blossoms as well. So in the package, I'm going to actually have the individual components, but obviously you get the mold, the back veiner, and then also the little leaflet here. Now, so actually what you get inside is first of all going to be the Flower Pro, the main part of the mold. Now this part of the mold here enables us to be able to make in the videos 3 or 4 different types of blossoms, both a single and double flowering cherry, which is like the Yoshino cherry, which is Japanese style cherry, then there's this one here, which is a slightly sort of rounded shaped blossom. This is going to be used for actually for peach blossoms, for plum blossoms. The peach blossoms also can use this for apple blossoms as well. So actually on the videos I show the apple and the plum blossom done in this one. And then this slightly more elongated one you can use for varieties of peach, you can use for pear, you can use also for almond blossoms as well. Now also on the mold there are the actual bud cavities, all right? So there's a small, a medium and a large rounded bud, and we use those, for example, for the classic cherry blossom. And then this is a more elongated bud. There's a small, a medium and a large bud that we use, for example, the apple blossom and obviously some of the other blossoms that have more elongated buds. So rounded, again, when we think about other flowers, you could use these for other types of buds as well. And then on here there are 2 sizes of calyx, a small calyx and a large calyx, which you use for the calyx of the flower. I'm going to show you in a moment. And then we have these inner side leaves where there's a small size and a large size. These are a very slightly serrated leaf, all right, and I actually use those on the videos for the peach blossoms. And then the slightly wider, more serrated leaves I use for apple and also for the cherry blossoms here. All right, so there's a small and a large one which we use for obviously for cherry. Now inside the obviously leaflet, the leaflet is very explicit, so it goes through, really going through where the videos take you and show you all the step-by-steps of obviously making all of the components. But also here there is a nice chart here, so you see how this actually shows the layout. These are the cherry buds, the apple, plum and peach buds, large cherry and apple leaf, small cherry and apple leaf, and then this is the large peach and plum, and peach and plum, and then blossom calyx, bud calyx, peach blossom, apple and plum blossom. So you've got everything on here. And then also this is the back veiner. So this back veiner, when you watch the videos will actually use this. So this actually veins the back of the petals, okay? And then this is actually the back leaf veiner. So when we actually make the leaves, you put the paste into here, and then we take this veiner, line that up with the little notch where your wire is, and just press that on the top. So in this mold, you have everything you need to create beautiful blossoms, but also, as I said, other flowers. Now in my Flower Pro Ultimate Members Club, which is our subscription club, which is part of the Flower Pro range, obviously each week we do an episode, and so the students have been making, for example, plum blossoms for an Asian theme, which I'm going to show you in a second, and but also a little later on in the summer we're going to be using this, like this one here, to make like delphiniums, but you could make, for example, geraniums with this. This one could be used for citrus blossoms, it could be for small orchid backs. These ones here, this one could be used for like primroses, which are very popular in England, obviously primula, which we have here in the United States and globally. So there's lots and lots of different flowers you can make with this set. And as I said, the buds are very useful also, plus also the leaves could be used for jasmine and lots of different other flowers, and small calyxes, so these could be used for flowers like sweet peas, little jasmine and flowers like that. So very, very versatile mold set. And so along with the Flower Pro, as a lot of you are familiar with Flower Pro, obviously we have book 1, book 2, book 3. So obviously in a later book, the cherry blossoms or blossoms will feature in that. But that's why we've given you, with this particular one, a very sort of step-by-step tutorial of how to make the flowers and the buds and the leaves. But also remember, with Flower Pro, it's a totally video-assisted package, in that it's the ultimate learning experience, in that you have to be able to watch the videos. So you're going to go to katysuedesigns.com/Flower Pro, and that is where you'll find 3 videos. Now there are 3 blossom videos. The first video actually shows how to make the cherry blossoms. So here I've got some flowers here. So here we have the cherry. All right, so here you can see here with the cherry blossoms. So in the video I actually show how to make the stamens, and I show how to make the stamens using actual stamens, using cotton thread, even for air drying clay, and for craft application using fishing filament. So I show 3 different options for stamens, and then I show how to make the single flowering cherries. You see the beautiful cherry here, and this is the Yoshino Japanese style cherry, but I show how to make the petals, how to make the different size buds. I actually make 4 different size buds out of the 3 cavities, then how to make the leaves. So video number 1 is going to really just be the fundamentals of like making the stamens for blossoms, making the blossom, making the leaves. And then in the second video, I show how to make the double flowering cherry. So the cake that I have here, and I'm just going to bring the cake just over here, but you can see here the beautiful cake I have here. So on that video I show how to make the double flowering cherry. This is like the Prunus here. All right, so you can see here it shows how to make the Prunus, and that shows how to make a double variety, also different colored stamens, and also how to, for example, use individual petals, which you can scatter on the table or put on a cake. You can also use the little individual cherry blossom petals. It's really nice to use, for example, for things like little cupcakes, macarons, petit fours, things like that. The mold can also be used, of course, for cookies. So when you're doing, like, for example, on this cookie here, you can see how I've got just like the cherry blossom just pressed into the mold flat, and then what I've done is I've used some little yellow nonpareils in the center. I've used the bud mold and cut it in half, and I've got a leaf, and then I've actually painted some of the design onto the cookie. So this could also be used, for example, on the side of a cake. They could be used in different applications, on entremet, petit gâteau, plated desserts, and other things as well. So really, really versatile mold. And so as I said, of course, you can change the colors up as well of those. But so that's in the second video, shows how to make the Prunus, which is the double flowering cherry, which you can see here in the leaflet. And so I show how to make the Prunus in the second video. You can see here, okay. And then what I do is I show how to color the single cherry and how we assemble the single cherry. So I actually show how to make the dusting powder, then obviously how to tape this, how to make realistic branches. I show how to make like little moss on here, so I've got like some moss effect on the branches. I show how to do the cut stem, so I actually will show you how to create this realistic stem. So when you lay this onto, for example, the top of a cake, it looks like you've just gone into your garden and cut a piece of cherry off the cherry tree. So and then in the second one I also show how to do obviously the same with the Prunus. And then I also show how to do this long type of arrangement. So I show how to wire this long branch and how you'd attach it to your cake. So again, a lot of information on, especially of assembly of the cherry and using your cherry on, said different applications, especially on wedding cakes. And then the third video, I actually show in the third video how to make the apple blossom. So here we have the apple blossom. So I show how to make the apple blossom. So this is made in the slightly rounded and using also the more elongated bud mold as well. I also show how to make the peach blossom. Now, living here in Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm based, and coming from now, in Atlanta, we're obviously Georgia, we grow a lot of the world's peaches, about I think 60–65% of the world's peaches, so we're known as the peach state. So, but peach blossoms are also really beautiful as well. They have this little bit more brownie colored stamens, so that's also shown in the obviously the third video, and then also we have the Plum Blossom. So this is actually the container arrangement that my students have just completed in their, they're working on the last couple of stages of this, but in the Flower Pro Ultimate Members Club, the students learned how to make the bamboo container using my new Flower Pro bamboo mold, how to make camellias, how to make the bamboo, doing sort of different colors in Japanese maple and also ginkgo. And then they have in the arrangement here, just show you this, and then this is the Plum Blossom. All right, so this is very popular in Asia. All right, and so here you have the Plum Blossoms. Again, has a very characteristic sort of center to it, and so each of the videos deals with a different sort of aspect of the blossoms. So remember, the first video is basics on the single cherry. Second video is going to show you how to do double flowering cherry, coloring, finishing off, arranging into sprays, and then the third video is going to show you the apple blossom, the plum blossom, and also the peach blossoms. All right, so those are all going to be shown in that third video. So those are my blossoms, and as I said, I'm super excited about those, and it's definitely something a great addition for to your flower making collection of Flower Pro molds, because it's such a versatile mold. So don't think of it just as spring, because as I said, I've talked about other flowers you can make with it, and obviously in coming up videos and things, we will be also in the Flower Pro Members Club. I will be obviously using that same mold for other different applications on different flowers. So that is my Flower Pro mold. So that's available now to purchase. So today is the launch day, and as I said, so remember, it comes with the leaflet and obviously your mold and your back part. So that is all included in the kit there. And that mold is £19.99 UK or $24.99 US. Okay, and so those are available through katysuedesigns.com, obviously UK or US website, plus also authorized Katy Sue obviously distributors as well. And so really beautiful mold. So I'm very excited about this, and obviously hope you will really enjoy working with this brand new mold from Flower Pro. Now the second mold I'm also very excited about, and so this is this mold here is called the measuring mold. All right, now this measuring mold is really very multifunctional. Okay, it can be used for lots of different application. I designed the mold to make a really almost like a coloring, mixing, blending chart for using with hardy clay. Now a lot of you maybe don't know a lot about hardy clay, but hardy clay is a Katy Sue product, and the hardy clay comes in red, pink, orange, yellow, blue, black, brown, dark green, green, and then of course white. These are 200-gram packs. These are 50-gram packs that the product comes in. Okay, and this is an air drying clay, so it's like a paper clay. It's very lightweight, and I use this for a lot of my flowers. And for example, in the Flower Pro Ultimate Members Club, I have just filmed some episodes for coming up in May. So in May, the members will be making the big magnolia, the Southern Magnolia grandiflora, and also will be making the dogwood as well. And so, for example, in some of the club projects like snowdrops, daffodils, coming up the magnolia, the students, I actually do the videos with air drying clay, so they can learn air drying clay as well as sugar. So it's a really good crossover, and because you use the same tools, it's just the product is just different than sugar. But this is a spray that I teach in one of my classes here in Atlanta, and this is made from air drying clay. So air drying clay is very, very lightweight. This actually only weighs about 30 grams. Okay, so very, very lightweight. These flowers look just like sugar. It has a very similar look to sugar. And so, but when we are making obviously air drying clay flowers, when you are used to working with sugar, you're trying to emulate nature. So you're trying to make them as sort of natural colors as possible. Because for example, the green and the dark green, these colors are, they're fine for craft application, but generally speaking, a lot of times they're going to be, this is a little bit bright, this is a little bit sort of gray. So it's really, as I said, the whole idea with this measuring mold is to enable to show you the different options you have with the coloring. Now, so when you buy this, you get this is the measuring mold, all right? So this is the main part of the mold, which has got number 1 through 10. All right, this is your flexi scraper that comes with this, and this is you basics of this, you press the paste in there, you use a scraper just to trim off the excess. So you fill the mold completely level, okay? And then it also has this, which obviously this part here, I developed this color chart. So this actually goes through like the ombre colors. So this shows the full strength air drying clay. And then if you take, for example, number 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, 8, 9, 10 of the black and add it to a number 1 of white, the color you will get. So you see how it shows all these gradient colors. So for example, when I teach this, so I will actually be teaching this in Atlanta in April, and then down in Florida, I have this teaching this twice down in Florida. But when I make the air drying clay for the students going forward, it obviously makes this very easy. So when you're using the color chart, so for example, when I'm making the color for my roses, I'm going to use the magenta, which is a very, very strong color. All right, you can see here, this is actually the balls of paste there, but you can see magenta is almost looks a bit like a red. But you see, as you add less and less of the magenta and more white, it goes all the way through to these beautiful colors. And you see this shows like red, but see the red is also going to give you these lovely peaches and blush colors, and obviously your yellow, your orange will give you these nice creamy colors, and the blue and the black, and then the other colors here. Now I'm not going to show too much on this because I have a full video of this. So there are 2 other videos which are going to be on Katy Sue's, as I said, website under videos. So there is one on showing how to use this. So I go through sort of showing you mixing quite a lot of the custom colors and obviously how to really use it to its full potential. But and then there's another video which is on fundamentals of air drying clay. So if you've never sort of tempted to be, or never wanted to sort of, never knew how to do air drying clay, the fundamentals of air drying clay is a video I filmed showing how to use air drying clay, how to store it, you know, like if it gets dry, how you recondition it, about working with it, like the difference between that and sugar. So check those 2 videos out. I said fundamentals on air drying clay, and then the measuring mold video as well. Those are both full-length videos which show obviously all of those details. Remember, those are all free to access, all right, and you can watch those and enjoy them. But basically the concept behind it is that you would take your air drying clay. I've already done my white air drying clay, sorry, it's a bit noisy here, but so what you do is you just fill the mold up. I've already have done this, so you'd fill that up level, and then you see if I wanted to make, for example, for my pink roses here, okay, if I wanted to make this shade of pink there, all you then do is you would take the magenta. As I said, the magenta is extremely strong, so you need very, very little of this. So this is also great if you're wanting to make cherry blossoms, because these would be like probably the very palest color I would recommend for the Japanese Yoshino cherry. And then if you go into the plums and peaches, then I would go to a number 9 or number 8 size there. But see, what you then do is you just push your paste in like this. You're going to use your little scraper just to take that off. So you see that just fills that up level. Now, of course, if you needed more paste than this is going to make, then you would just can measure, for example, like 3 number 1s and then 3 number 9s, and then you just would combine them together. Now, when I take this out, you can either use like a toothpick cocktail stick, or if you're familiar with my little ultimate filler flowers, this is a free gift, but the companion tool is also sold separately with a new plastic size guide and things as well. So you just would take this out, all right, and then you take this one out here as well. And then all you do is you're just going to pop that on, and you see how you're just going to mix this up, and this is going to give you a perfect match. Now, the great thing about this is that means if you have some left from a project, all right, you just keep that stored, and I talk about that in my fundamentals video about storage of the air drying clay to stop it drying out. But then you can just make some more of this, so you don't ever waste it. But the other thing is that when you, if you use it and you need some more of the same color, you can make an identical match every time, okay? And you see how then that's going to give you this lovely pink, and that's the actual pink I would start off the rose with. So when I make my roses, this is the base color I use for my roses. But you'll also notice on here, for example, this my ferns, I did this like in a lime green color as a base, and then I've got like a moss green color there as well. And so those are made using my custom, these are like bespoke couture sort of custom colors that I've developed, and especially because of my crossover from air drying clay into sugar, what I've done is I developed, and especially greens, when we make sugar flowers, we're often changing the different colors of green. So you see how this has got the customized mixes for the lime green, eucalyptus, dusty miller green, dark green, leaf green, avocado green, and moss green. So you see how you could make, so all of these different shades of green here are all made using the different colors, you see. So for example, like the moss green here, which is this one here, which I use a lot in sugar, you'd use a number 1 white, number 2 yellow, number 5 blue, and number 7 magenta, and just mix that together. All right, so it's really, really easy. So you can customize, you know, your colors to match those perfectly. And then here, these are some other colors, because there isn't a purple in the hardy clay. And a lot of times when I make sometimes calla lilies, like lilac, flowers like that, I'm often using these sort of darker purple or the lavender color. So we've got that. We've got burgundy. So this is the burgundy color. Again, beautiful color in autumn time, you know, for roses and things. We have, this is going to give you like almost, because you know the red is of course quite like a Christmas red, and so this is going to give you more of a sort of, when you make things like red roses, okay? And then you have a turquoise color, so again that's a good color for to use, especially for craft and things. And then a nice golden yellow, so when you're making things like my Flower Pro sunflowers, this is going to give you a spot on color. So what I've done is I you know, spent 3 days in sort of playing around with all of these colors to come up with things that match what I do in sugar. So when you're working from, say, for example, like my Flower Pro book 1, book 2, book 3, it'll enable you to be able to sort of duplicate those same colors in air drying clay if you work in air drying clay. All right, so it's a really, as I said, a great product to use. And so you can obviously, you've got all those custom colors in here. And remember, the video shows, obviously I go through in sort of more detail and show more of the color combinations talk about the different colors. But also this mold can be used for other applications. You can use this for half balls. So for example, like on those of you who do craft, like on, for example, like say a Christmas card, you could take a number 4 and a number 1, half ball in white, half ball in white, and you make a little snowman, okay? You could use this also for example, to make 3-dimensional balls. So you could take obviously two of the halves, and then you can you put them together. So we can use those in air drying clay for centers of peonies and other flowers like that. Also, you could use this for things like figure modeling. So those of you that, for example, maybe teach and teach like figure modeling, then see it's very easy, because you could tell your students you're going to use a number 1 for the head, and then you're going to use, like, for example, 2 number 8s for each ear. So it's very, very easy to, you know, for legs, for arms, things like that. So it is really a new new concept. This is a totally different concept than my size guide, which is really more for floral, but this is going to give you exact amounts, because the size guide we sometimes use a regular size or one that goes through the hole, or a large version. That's a little bit sort of as I said, different. But as I said, so this is a totally separate format. And it also means with my Ultimate Members Club, my members now, when they have their downloads each project, it will tell them, you know, exactly how many grams they need of sugar or air drying clay for each part of the flower. And then also it will show them how to for example, reference like make 3 recipes, 3 batches of lime green air drying clay. So I'm sort of using this now in my obviously Ultimate Members Club as well. And so this sort of shows them sort of how to mix the colors and get a perfect match to the comparable color in sugar. Because that's always been something my Flower Pro members have always struggled with, is trying to match the colors to like what I do in sugar in my projects. So again, another really fun mold there. And that one is that mold is £14.99 or $16.99 US. Okay, remember that comes with the flexi scraper, with the mold, and also with the leaflet as well. So you have everything you need there to be able to customize your air drying clay colors. But also remember, you can use this as a guide for sugar as well, because like if you take, for example, pre-made sugar paste or rolled fondant, comes in lots of different colors. So you could, for example, take just like yellow sugar paste or yellow rolled fondant, and you could take that, that's your base color. So you can use that same concept as well for color in sugar paste and all different other products as well. So I hope you will really enjoy, as I said, that new Katy Sue measuring mold, and also my Flower Pro by Katy Sue Designs. new blossoms. So I look forward to seeing everybody, as I said, what you're creating, obviously on our Flower Pro Facebook group, and of course our growing Flower Pro Ultimate Members Club. So remember, if you haven't checked out the Flower Pro Members Club, it's a great opportunity. Every week we do different projects, and we have guests from our team, our design team as well. And so if you like making flowers, that's definitely a sort of a platform to be part of. So until next time, sweet wishes, has been Chef Nicholas Lodge. Bye everybody.